And I'm back. Sorry we had to split this video. I decided to split this video. So let's give a little explanation into what the name Under Evil stands for. So my show's name is Uneve Live. That's actually short for Under Evil. Under Evil is actually an acronym, and it stands for Universal Neurological Domination, Engineering Robots Effectively Vaporizing Imaginative Learning. That means, people, that we do not think for ourselves any longer. Our free will has been taken away. We're taught what to say, we're taught what to do, we're taught what female or what male looks good. All of that is via the media. And in my opinion, it's not right. It's incorrect. We should not have to live by other people's rules. We have to realize that those that create the rules do not follow their own rules. I have a guest, special guest. His name is Joe, and we will be hitting on the topic of relationships.
What's up? All right, so I don't know where we stopped, but the last thing we were talking about, I was telling a little story about my brother. But for any of you guys that don't know me, I'm King Joe Torres online. It's JoeTores. And we're talking about relationships. But I like your description of the Unev. Mm-hmm. Is that how you say it?
It's Uneve.
Uneve.
But that's actually short for Under Evil.
Under Evil.
Yep.
But I like what you said, like kind of like what we were talking about with the relationships and the marriages and all that. It's the same thing. Like, no one thinks for themselves anymore. They take a cookie cutter, what they see on TV, that's what the perfect life is. That's what you know what I'm saying? So I completely agree with what you were talking about, that no one thinks for themselves anymore. And I used to say a quote, I used to tell people a quote like, don't worry about what people think or what people think about you, because they don't do it often. And people don't do thinking at all. They just follow whatever they see on TV, media, news, all that. They believe any of that. And when it comes to these relationships now, this is how it is. Now American women are all online. I mean, even in the music, they talking trash about men, bashing men. You know, don't forget, ladies, you have sons. Don't forget that. So do you want your sons to be treated how you treat certain men and how you act? Do you want to always have this angry mentality of you owe me? And then they wonder why they're single. And the ones online, the women online that talk the most about relationships are the ones that have been single for a long time. And then they say, I'm the badass, I'm a bad woman, this and this and that. Really? Well, if you're so bad and you're the baddest in the world, why does no one want to date you?
So nothing that we actually originally filmed actually processed. So we're gonna go back to ground zero.
Okay.
So, I have a saying. Go foreign. I will never in my life again date an American woman. And the reason is, I lived out of the United States for 16 years. I lived in Brazil 16 years, the most beautiful people on the planet. And I moved back to what I look at as being bizarro world. I do not what happened to our country. I do not what happened to this planet. We called ourselves living in Brazil. We called ourselves being unplugged from the Matrix. And when I came back, this bizarro world, the left is now right, down is now up. Not to get too deep into politics, but a reality show host became president. I don't know what the hell is going on. And when it comes to the women, what in the world is going on?
We're going backwards.
We're going backwards. Look, there was once upon a time in history where there was a throne. The man sat next to the woman, or the woman sat next to the man on the throne. The throne was here with the man, here with the women. I'm not trying to say that we should not be equal. But what has happened, people, is this throne, the man has been kicked out of his chair. The woman has bought a love seat, and she has taken over the throne.
And Here's what I think is they want to take over, right? Women want to be in control, and I talked about it a little bit since we're starting over. I was married for 15 years. I was with a woman for 20 years. We have 3 children together. We separated, and then we ended up getting a divorce. And I honestly believe it's kind of what you just hit on a little bit. They want to be in complete control. She wanted to completely like be my mom. Like whatever you tell me.
I did not marry a parent.
Yeah.
I did not get married to want to have a new parent.
No.
Not to be told when to come home or any
What
of
I
that.
can do, right. And for the most part, she would let me do whatever. I'm a free bird. Like I would do much, but always talking trash, more the mouth, the lips than anything. And I was talking a little bit about. I'll tell you a story about my brother. My brothers, I had one of my brothers let one of his wife tell him he's a straight bitch right in front of everybody, in front of the family.
Oh, wow.
I've had my other brother, his girl, tell him when he can go, where he can go, what kind of cars they're going to drive. At the end of the day, they got this philosophy, for women, if you keep her happy, you've ever heard that term, happy wife, happy life? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what about us? We don't get to be happy? We're supposed to be miserable while you guys are living it up, spending all the money, doing everything, making all the decisions, and I want to go out and have a drink with a friend, and you're asking me when, where, who, what, why? Who's going to be there? I'm straight. I'm good.
Look, my spouse's first experience here in the U.S., so she's Brazilian. So I go out, not to put any of my friends on blast, and I will not say any names. But we go to one of my friends' houses. This is birthday weekend. And, conversation between women and women and men and men. But I just happen to be upstairs during the woman conversation. So they're asking her or berating her with questions. What do you do? What happened? What have you been doing since you been here in the United States? So she talks about how my last name is West. She's talking about how I take care of Mr. West, my dad. God bless his soul. He passed on the 23rd of December. So I want to give a shout out to him. So she took care of my dad, and they're asking, well, what do you do? She's like, well, I take care of Mr. West. She just got here. She wasn't in school yet or anything like that. But when they heard that she took care of my pops and all of that, one of them, and I will not bring up who, said, quote, I would never do that for my mother-in-law.
Right.
You don't say it.
No.
That's like calling a pregnant woman fat. What in the world was this person thinking? I mean,
there's a couple of things that you made me think about when you said that. One, I think honestly she was jealous that your wife would be willing to do that because she wouldn't do that. Well, that doesn't make her less of a woman because she's willing to do that, because family, man, that's your family. What's wrong with that, right? And I think she was trying to influence your wife to make her be more like her,
be more
aggressive,
American.
Be more American. Don't follow what the men say. Do what you want, right, and take back control. Because at the end of the day, you said it earlier, when it comes to relationships, 50-50, right?
Yep.
Well, let's be honest. There's no really 50-50. It's always one person has a little bit more control of the relationship.
Yep.
41-49. In most cases, when it comes to men and usually, basically my brothers, they're 90% the wife is in control and 10% the husband's in control. And the thing is, you're supposed to be the king of your castle. You're supposed to be the decision maker. You're supposed to keep the family together. That's your job as the father, as the husband, as the man, right? And now women want to take that responsibility. Fine, but where are you taking us? Where are you leading us to? Because since I've been separated, I've been divorced for a year, and I went out with a couple of women because I'm like, all right, we'll see what's going on out here. And these American women, they started already giving me lists of what I need to do. They started getting angry with me on the first call. They get irritated really quick. It's like, why are you so angry? I know that you had 27 crappy relationships before you met me. That's not me. And don't bring your 27. That's like me bringing my marriage that didn't work out, right?
Yep.
On other people, on other women. No, that's one woman that did not make it work with, right? That has nothing to do with you, and I'm not gonna bring that on you, right? But what I am learning about American women, why I love your term, go foreign, is because foreign women respect, appreciate, they value, they want this family value. They don't want to be a biatch complaining all the time. No, and when you were talking, you told. I think you told a story about the washing of the feet, right? A woman that washed.
Hold on, I have to tell the story. All
Sorry.
right. So, my first experience in Brazil, a woman, her name was Tatiana. This beautiful woman, and one of my next episodes, I will show pictures of her. Beautiful woman. I'm in the shower. I go to take a shower. She comes in 2-3 minutes later. She gets on her knees and begins to wash my feet. I called my best friend Al Jean. I said, Al, I have never seen this.
Ever.
This woman just washed my feet. He said, what? This woman just got on her knees and washed my feet.
Right.
You will never get that in the States. And that honestly is not the only experience that I've had with a woman from a different country,
right.
Brazil in this case. Well, actually, in the only case, washing my feet because of the fact that my current spouse does it. The women that I had, my son's mom did it.
Right.
I have a 13-year-old son whose mom was Brazilian. I have custody of my son. His mom did it when I was with her. And people say, well, that's their culture. Look, women want us. Don't they say, hey, I want breakfast in bed?
Yeah.
Don't they say, hey, open that door?
Yeah.
We, in the black community, we're calling our women queens.
Yes.
What are you doing to actually deserve that acknowledgement if you are not treating us as kings? And now I want to get on every race, because it's not just about black and white or black with black. Every race, if a woman wants that man to treat them in a special way, why can't they treat us that same way?
You made a good point, because you know what? When I was with my wife, I told her I worshipped the ground she walked on. I gave her compliments, came up behind, gave her kisses, hugs, very affectionate. Like I worshipped the woman, like I did, and I did some stupid things when I was younger. But at the end of the day, I worshipped her because she's the mother of my children, and I treated her like that. I never got that response in the beginning of our relationship. Before we had our children, she kind of had that feet cleaning mentality, even though she never did it. But she had that. But she had that mentality where she did respect me. She did kind of worship me a little bit as well as I did for her, because we're supposed to build something together. We're supposed to build an empire, and you can't be a king without a queen. You can't be a queen without a king.
Yep. So
So you need both parties, right? A game of chess, the queen protects the king. What the hell's going on?
once upon a time, there was a saying: behind every strong man, there's a strong woman.
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
Oh, they strong, just not for the right reasons.
Like, I've moved out of the country. I've moved back, and we're in bizarro world.
Yeah.
Left is now right, down is now up.
Yeah.
A reality show president. I don't know what the hell is going on.
We are lost, man. This country, I think, and I don't know if it. We're just talking about American, right? Because the Go Foreign premise is that American women are losing the men. They're losing
they're losing what was once what we considered the common values.
Yeah.
That the family had.
Just what happened to the family?
And again, I am not advocating that a woman should be beneath a man.
No.
I'm all for the women's movement. I am all for a woman working and having equal income and equal everything.
Right.
But when it comes to relationships, I do not want to date a male figure. If I am not homosexual, I have all the love in the world for the LGBT community, but I do not want to date somebody that has masculine tendencies.
Right.
I don't want to, I hear women say, oh, you just can't handle a strong black woman.
I love that.
What the hell? Excuse me for saying this. I told myself I was not gonna use profanity on my shows, but what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Nobody can ever give me an explanation as to what does that mean. Because if you're talking about an educated woman, where every race is educated, if you're talking about somebody that takes care of the home, every race has that.
Right.
So does that just give you carte blanche, open, is it just open season for you to just be mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what I see.
Right.
That's my spouse. She looks at the women like here in the States, especially the sister, the African American one. And I asked her, I said, look, what is the difference between American women, or the black American women, and people in Brazil, women in Brazil?
Right.
She told me two things. She said women here, especially the sisters, are not feminine.
Okay.
And they are mean.
Mean.
She said this as a woman.
Yeah. Women are mean. I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. When I went on a couple of dates, yeah, these women are mad. They're mad at everybody. They're like mad. I say they're just insane mad. They're mad at the world. They're mad at their past relationship. They're mad that it didn't work out. I don't know what you're mad at, but whatever you're mad at, what does that have to do with me, right? I don't, like, at the end of the day, one of the things you said that I caught on, and back to the family unit, like, the woman does, it used to be the woman would take care of the home and the children, and then the man went out and provided, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not like that anymore. Now the women want to work too, which is fine. They deserve to do that. But then now you're kind of taking back away from the family unit. Like, one of the things that me and my ex-wife agreed on is that we didn't want anybody raising our children. That's why we had businesses, not because of anything else but personal preference, right? And now, now that we're out together, now she has a job, so that went out the window. And at the end of the day, I never understand why the women today, they say they want all this, right? They say they're the baddest ever, they're the baddest women out there. But again, they're single, and they're single for one reason, because they're crazy. And I told women, and they promote it too. I don't know if you ever see this. Women promote, I'm a little crazy, and they love to share memes. I'm a badass, or I'm a mean, or I'm aggressive, but I'm definitely worth it. No, you're not. Nobody wants to live with somebody that's angry all the time, that's negative all the time, that's always nagging, that doesn't provide or doesn't help elevate me, and we're not elevating each other. You're just angry. And at what? And if you are, stay by yourself. And
they all say, "Oh, this is the new thing right now," and we're gonna play this tape.
Yeah.
The new thing is women have this new saying that we don't need a man. Huh? That we don't need a man.
They're lying.
Where does that come from?
Music. I think a lot of the music has a lot to do with it.
Can you play that tape? The need a man. They're saying right. What does that mean? We're gonna play this clip really fast. We need look.
What I was
while
saying,
he's getting the clip.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say you said something about what was the last thing you said? Because I had something and then
that we don't need a man.
That we don't need a man. Well, unfortunately, you do need a man, because if you want to have a family, you need a man to do that with, right? If you want to have children, you gotta have a man, right? So, do you plan on just like not doing that, not going that route, or adopting kids? But that's not what we're seeing, though. What we're seeing is these women are having children. They are doing that thing, but they're not understanding that the point of having children is to build a family, right? A kingdom, a unit together.
Let's play this clip.
Society needs strong masculine men. We have an epidemic of children being raised in fatherless homes, and 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Women are taught that they don't need men and that they're even disposable. We can't do it alone, and we shouldn't. Men provide us with their life force energy, which impregnates us, and they have a purpose in society, and they are at the foundation of everything that has been built. Men provide protection in a home. They provide stability in a home. They provide responsibility and structure in a home. Studies have shown that growing up without a father can permanently restructure and rewire the brain, and can create more aggression and anger in children. Girls raised without fathers are more likely to be sexually promiscuous and also more likely to get divorced. 70% of teen births happen in homes of single mothers. 70% of dropouts, 70% of suicides, juvenile delinquents, and runaways are raised in single mother homes. Children from single family homes are 5 times more likely to commit suicide, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, 10 times more likely to suffer from substance abuse, 14 times more likely to commit rape, and 20% times more likely to end up in prison. The strongest predictor of if a person will end up in prison is if they're raised in a single mother home. 70% of inmates serving long-term prison sentences were raised in a single mother home. And you are 4 times more likely to end up in poverty being raised by a single mother. Burden of responsibilities ends up on the woman's shoulders and makes her vulnerable to predators and pedophiles who abuse her children. This creates a lot more family karma that you now have to work through, and the children also will have to work through. Men are starting to see that the odds are stacked against them with how many women initiate divorce and are not committing anymore. Because women aren't in the home full time, they have to work to take care of the family. The children are left to their own devices and are being indoctrinated by government schools, and they're being taught in kindergarten about sex and changing their genders. There has even been countless of times where people have discovered in school libraries pornography in books for children and teenagers. A more promiscuous society creates a sexualization of women. This creates a very promiscuous society and an extremely high abortion rate. Something has to change.
So we're back, people.
That was a great video.
Look, this new age thing with women saying that they don't need men is ridiculous. Without the male-female relationship, first of all type of procreation would stop. So are you trying to say that you only need the
sperm?
I wasn't going to use that term, but yeah, you only need the sperm out of a man, but everything else? Look, we're here in Chicago. I would be, and the violence here in Chicago has exploded over the last 2 years, and I would be willing to bet, my car, that over 50%, over 70% of those kids creating those crimes do not have a father in that household.
Correct.
Society is going crazy, so why would you come up with this saying that we don't need a man? Independent woman does not mean a woman that is alone.
Right.
At least it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, but that's what they... make up your mind. Either you want to have a man and build a life, right? Or you want to be single and be angry. I don't understand what other option there is. And when back to the video, one of the things that disappointed me with me being in a divorce and why I try to fight to keep it, because all the stats the woman said, without the father in the home, so many things go wrong with the children. It has nothing to do with the relationship between the wife and the woman, right, or the woman and the man. It has everything to do with what that effect is going to have on the children. And I don't think women think that far ahead, which they should, because that's more important than anything else in the world. And now these kids are going to grow up without a man figure, without someone that's going to be there structuring them with discipline, and then they wonder why all the crimes are being committed. And back to another stat that I think is crazy. 83%, I think 87% of all divorces are basically made a decision by the woman. The women are the ones that ask for the divorces. It's barely ever the men keep it and make it work. It's the woman that wants to be independent now, wants to be on their own, wants to do their own thing. But with that comes a lot of struggle. With that comes a lot of consequences, and you don't even know the effect that you're going to have yet by doing that, by making those decisions, right? But what we were saying, what do you want? Ladies, what do you want? And I hope when women watch this video, I hope it makes you a little mad, and I hope you actually comment, because I want to understand, and he wants to understand, what is going on out in these streets.
Look, I am here. I am not trying to bash black women. I just said that I would never date another black woman, another woman in the States, period, but especially another black woman. I am tired of the angry black women. However, I am not saying this to make you angry, saying, hey, that's a brother that's trying to lead a trash.
Yeah, they're going to say that you're trying to go after a different white women or whatever.
Exactly. What I am trying to do is I am going to preach go foreign. That is my new saying, and I will stick to it, because I think this is I will not, me personally, I will never date another, and I am going to advocate to every single one of my friends, go foreign. Find somebody in Brazil, find somebody in the Dominican Republic, find somebody in Colombia, find somebody in Thailand, Japan, wherever you go, you can find, and do not, please. Okay, so this
is not mail order bride. It's like you want women that are not tainted by the American culture, honestly. Because I think what we're really talking about is not just women, black women, Mexican, Latino.
It's just American.
It's just American. I think what we're talking about is American women. They're being exposed to so much different things on TV, so many different movements, so many different things, and now all of a sudden they are in a belief system that forget the family unit, let's just all be single and have kids. And then they'll be single, and then they'll say, wait, I do want a man. Well, why didn't you make it work with the first guy? That's what I'm thinking, that you had the kids with. Why did, if you know, that's another thing too. A lot of the women out here too, they have kids way too easy with people. Like, I believe you still got to get married first before you have kids, but you know, that's because I'm old school philosophy. But what we're talking about right here, and what I like about your going foreign, is because women that are not from this country they appreciate, they value, they respect more, they want, right, and they appreciate anything they can get that they're elevated, right? Meanwhile, you'll elevate a woman in America, and she's still wondering what else you got.
Look, I give you something even. Okay, first of all, who on God's green earth made Steve Harvey the expert when it comes to relationships? So now these women, it's the sisters I'm talking about. Yeah. The sisters are following this man, saying, "Hey, you gotta wait 2 months. You gotta wait 3 months to actually have sex."
Yeah.
If you are over 40, are you gonna actually wait 2-3 months to have sex? So then, let's say you do wait that 2 or 3 months. That doesn't mean that now he's gonna value you. That just means that he's already put in the time, so he might as well stay to finally get the sex. But he's so pissed off after 2 or 3 months that after he finally gets it, he's done.
Yeah.
When I go out and let's say I will give full disclosure. My spouse was a virgin when I met her. She was a virgin. However, everybody, or the majority of the people that I met during the time that I lived in Brazil, the girlfriends I had or whatever, you think I had to wait 2 months, 3 months, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
1 week?
Yeah.
It is unheard of. It should not be. If you are attracted, we are human beings. Yeah. This is what I talk about as far as being unplugged from the Matrix. If you remember the Matrix movie, yeah, there was a part in the Matrix movie where they showed the party, the huge party that they had on. I forgot what was the name of the place where they lived.
Yeah, I don't know. I was never.
Where you never saw it?
Anybody in the audience, you know the Matrix?
Zion.
There you go.
Zion. Yeah. So they have this huge party and everybody is drinking and they're just having a great time.
Right.
Why can't we live like that?
Yeah.
That's being unplugged.
It's just being positive, man.
Look, American society as a whole, and when it comes to every single race, every ethnicity, we are a really conservative, and I'm not talking about politics, I'm just talking about just humanity. Right. We are a conservative people as compared to other countries. Right. Look, me and my buddy, we go to the DR, right? They got a club at the DR. It's in a casino. I'm 50 and I'm gonna use this term. That club is lit. That club is lit. Yeah. Yo, my boy was like, "Yo, this is better than." And he goes to Miami. I don't go to Miami all the time. I've actually only been to Miami one. I've never been to a club in Miami. Yeah. He goes there all the time. Yeah. He was like, "Yo, this club is lit." Right. It's being unplugged from the Matrix, man.
Man, yeah, you hit me up with a couple things I thought about, but one thing I'm going to be open about it. When I first dated my wife, she was only 19, I was 21.
Okay.
I waited 6 months before I tried to sleep with her.
Oh, your decision.
It was my
decision.
Before
you tried? Oh.
Yeah, and she knew it too. I told her I'm not going to sleep with you.
Actually, I'm not going to lie. I honestly did that too.
Yeah, because I wanted her to know that I was not with her for the sex. I was with her because I actually wanted to build something with her. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure she would have right away, and no problem, right? Mm-hmm. But for me, I wanted to wait 6 months because I wanted her to respect herself, and I wanted her to know that this was what it's about. Now, do I think she would do that now? No. That's what you brought it up. You said any woman over 41, are they gonna wait? Probably not. But
no, they do. No, those are the ones that's doing it.
Oh, okay.
Those are the ones that's doing it.
See, now I don't know what made Steve Harvey the expert, but he definitely talks a lot, and women eat it all up. And I never read any of his books, so I don't really know what he really talks about. I've seen him speak a couple of times, but going back to what you were saying, also is that, look, man, why is life to be happiness, life, positivity? So like when you were talking about how you went to the club and it was lit, like what's wrong with enjoying life? Because I only get one chance at this, and I want to live it up. One life to live, right? And it's not a soap opera. And when it came to me and my ex, I think like I was still wanting to have a good time, and she kind of got older on me and just didn't want to do anything anymore. But then we're not dead though. We alive. Like we got to go do something, travel, go hang out, just anything that has energy in life, right? And she'd rather sit at home and just be Netflix and chilling. See, that's not me, man. I have to go out. I got to be doing something. I got to make things happen, and I like to be around positive people. And if you're a negative person, I don't want nothing to do with you, because I only get one chance at this, and I'm not gonna hang out with you for more than 10 minutes so I can listen to your negativity and try to shit on everything that I do. And now, if I'm doing good, you hate. If I'm doing bad, you don't care. So then just stay out of my life, man. Let me do my thing. And your philosophy is gonna get probably a lot of hate, but also is gonna get a lot of love, because
it should get a lot of love.
It should get a lot of love, but it's gonna get hate from women from America, because they're gonna say, "Who are you guys to say?" Da, da, da. Well, because we've already been there, done that. I've been with American women. I've now attempted to be American women again, and I've been single since I've been separated from my wife. I have not had another girlfriend. I don't even want to. I've told women from the first date I don't even want to get married, and they don't like that. They after like 2 times, they never want to talk to me again, and it doesn't mean it's never. But I'm telling you right now, I don't want to get married again. I don't want a girlfriend. The most important thing to me right now is my children. That's it. If you can't accept that, bye.
Look, I'm not gonna tell the story that I actually want to tell.
You should tell that story.
Okay, I'll
tell it, man. Tell it.
All right. So, first of all, full disclosure.
Okay.
Before I tell the story.
All right.
Again, my wife was a virgin when we met, and I did not have sex with her immediately.
Right.
I met her in the airport. I went to go visit her. We met in July, in the month of July.
Right.
So I went in Brazil and just, whatever.
People you met.
People that I met, women, with their condolences. Unfortunately, I have 2 baby mamas here in the States, and neither one of them just even sent a message through their kids to say, "Hey, I'm sorry about your dad's passing." That hurt. That's hurtful.
Yeah,
that is hurtful.
That's definitely hurtful.
When one of them, honestly, I'm putting it on blast. One of them, I actually called. I think it was like 2006, 2005, or whatever, during the time I lived in Brazil, to give my condolences because of her dad.
Right.
So that actually does hurt me.
Yeah, that would hurt me.
So, look, go forward, man. Go for it. I've met so many friends. Let me tell you another story. Can I tell you another story?
Yeah, tell me no.
All right, so I have a buddy. His name, and I'll tell his name. His name is EJ. So he has
EJ. We talking about you.
So he has a buddy that has two sons. He said, I believe they're 30.
Okay.
Both college educated. Both in IT, making over 6 figures a year.
Right.
And he said that they are both, I believe they're twins, and they are both handsome men, and they cannot find spouses here in the States.
Makes sense.
That tells you something.
Yeah.
A 30-year-old recent college grad that is actually looking to settle down,
right? And
they can't find somebody's decent because the first date you go on.
Yeah.
I don't know if this has happened. I'm gonna ask you if this has ever happened to you.
Okay.
Have you ever been on a date? Well, you're just on a dating scene now.
Dating, yeah.
But have you had the experience like they did, where the woman asks these 2 gentlemen, or at least one of the 2, how much they make? On the very first date.
Right. I've had women do that.
Have you?
I've had women ask me about my money. Yeah. And see, and this is what I said. I took care of a woman for 20 years. So don't think that you're just going to jump on my train. I'm going to take care of you for 20 years. I had 3 children with her. That's why she gets everything, right? Because she's the mother of my children. But these women that I've met, hung out with, yeah, they want to know what kind of car I drive. They want to know what it's like. See, that right away. This is why I was with my wife too. She was with me when I was on unemployment and eating burritos off my credit cards. Mm-hmm. She was with me when I had nothing. So we built a life together, right? Unfortunately for these women, they just want to jump on the wagon and say, "Hey, I'm ready to just get paid." That's not here. That might work for other guys that are suckers and they have the money and they just want to be in that situation. Not me. I want either we building together. I'm not taking care of you. I already have 3 siblings. I have 3 kids.
Look,
I ain't take care of them.
Mine's basically, when I met her,
yeah,
she told me, and she knew nothing about my life in the States. She didn't know anything about me, anything like that.
Yeah.
And she said, quote, we could live, or I would live with you in a brown cardboard box. I just want us to be together. And I will give you this. Today, or actually yesterday, we're cleaning up our room.
Yeah.
And we go in the bathroom. I go in the bathroom. We're like 11 years in.
Yeah.
She goes in the bathroom and throws her tongue down my throat.
I love that.
I wake up in the morning and she's like sleeping like this, and she's laying on the bed. And I open my eyes, and she's staring at me. You would think I was like Denzel Washington, or whoever, like Brad Pitt, or whoever you consider as being.
But you know what? You're talking about this was my wife in the beginning, and you know what? I might have ruined.
But this is 11 years in.
Yeah, right. I might. Yeah, see, I'm saying like I might have had something to do with it to ruin our perfect relationship, our perfect family. So I'm not saying that I'm innocent in the situation at all. But at the end of the day, you know, like I said, you want to be with someone that kind of not worships you, but you want to be with someone that makes you feel good. It makes you feel alive. And the reason why men cheat,
foreign.
The reason why men cheat is because they're looking for a confidence boost, right? So if you're a woman, you're not giving your man no compliments, no props, no nothing, not telling him he's the shit, anything. You just there. That's why he's looking. That's why another woman will tell him he's the shit, the god, whatever. And he loves that. And for women, they cheat because they're looking for an emotional connection, right? For men, they cheating because you're not doing your job, making your man feel like he's it. He's everything, right? All the women are telling him what you won't tell him.
Oh, go for it. And again, like, look, a lot of the people here in the States, we have a huge weight problem, humongous. I lived in Brazil 16 years, and everybody, like, you know how like people say she's a dime?
Yeah.
So the dimes here in the States, you might see 2 out of every 10, 2 out of every 12.
Right.
In Brazil, it's actually literally a dime a dozen. You'll see 10 that look good out of every 12. So, in saying that, why are they starting to look like Fiona from Trek? What you know?
Actually, they're getting lazier.
Look,
they're getting lazier. They don't even want to dress up anymore.
Because as a man, you still have to physically be attracted. And there are still guys that like bigger women.
Right.
You know, they call it big and beautiful or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's something new. When did that become a fad?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not trying to knock any like heavy set woman, because we're all beautiful. We're all beautiful in God's eyes. However, I'm overweight. I'm overweight. I will tell you this. 2 months ago, or a little less than 2 months ago, I got up to 248. In Brazil, I maintained a weight of 180. I got up to 248. You know how much I weigh today? I'm at 219.
Right.
I am on a freaking diet. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it. I do not want to wake up to Fiona. I do not want to be Shrek.
Well, that's one thing about it. It's funny that you said it, because I married my wife because she was so skinny. So I said, even if she gains a bunch of weight, she's still gonna be she's gonna be good. She's gonna be all right. But at the end of the day, like, one of the things that you said too, though, when it comes to that, is that the foreign thing you said about the women. Oh, you had it. Oh, I lost it, man. But I had it, and it went out there. But what was the last thing you said right before I
was talking about Shrek and how we've just put on pounds.
Well, it goes back to America, but that goes back to American though. Our food is so garbage, man. That's like other countries, like even Mexico, which is not the most healthiest country. They ban certain ingredients there that we let to have. Like if you get Coke in Mexico, it's going to be with pure sugar. You get it here, it's going to be with fructose syrup and all that. And that's,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why I only drink the Coke from Mexico. It comes in the bottle. But there's a thing, though. But even though that country's not the most healthiest, this is our country, man. We just lazy. We angry. There's so many things wrong right now with what's going on. And I have to believe it has a lot to do with media, man. A lot of the new music that's
But the
out
men
there.
are not angry, though.
No, the women are mad. The women are pissed, man. Like I seen my ex-wife today, and she was pissed. I was over there just like smiling in the courtroom. I knew we're gonna have to get a what do you call it, continuance, and she looked angry. She ran out that courtroom like I've seen her before. Like it's like a walking devil, man. Like I try to stay positive. Will I go off on the handle? Yeah, I can, but I try to stay positive. I want everything to be about happiness. When I hang out with my kids, we're trying to always have fun. You know what I'm saying? But the women, yes, man, they're angry. They're definitely mad.
Tell the people the story that you told me, I believe it was yesterday, about you just called somebody to say hello.
Right. And one of the girls was listening because I put it on speaker. So this woman that I talked to, I've been talking to for months, and she calls me, right? Or I called her, she called me. The minute all I said was hello, she's like, well, you did this, and she started like yelling at me about I don't even know what. And I told her, what are you even talking about? Well, you think this and that, and I'm a different type of breed and this and that. Oh, here we go. Like you're mad and we haven't even seen each other. This is what I'm talking about. Why are you even mad? Why would I want to be with another woman that's mad? I was with a mad woman. I don't want to be with another mad woman.
Look, there was a movie back. All right, so there was a movie in the '90s, the late '90s. It was called Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
And the famous line in that movie was, "You got me at hello."
Yeah.
Now you're saying
say hello.
You lost me at hello.
Hell yeah, you did.
You lost me at hello.
You lost me at hello.
What in the world is going on?
Like I won't even I'm pre-screening before I even go on a date because who knows what you're gonna do if we actually hung out. You're yelling at me and we're on the phone, right? Same, man. And what I've learned too is a lot of the women, they have a chip on their shoulder. Now they're gonna blame the men on that, but how? Like what did the men do? And if you had one crappy man, you picked that guy, so live with your decision. But point being is, what are you mad about? And you're never going to be happy, not because of a man, but because you're not happy, and that's the problem. You're not happy. So,
okay, people, we'll be right back. So we're back, and I'm gonna thank Joe for coming out to actually do the show, and I'm actually gonna ask you to come back and do another segment with me another day.
yes, sir. Definitely.
I really hope you guys like my pilot part 1 and pilot part 2. I want you to like me, follow me, send all your friends to me, because we're only gonna tell the truth. It's all about being unplugged for the Matrix. See you next time. Peace.